Hello, what's up good people? Good to see you and thank you for clicking on this video. Perhaps nobody has ever told you, but there is a certain group of people that money hates. Have you ever been in a situation or have you ever heard of somebody saying, hey, I think money hates me, like, because I really try as much as I can. I work hard, I even sleep less hours. And guess what I get? I usually get that enough for me to feed me, pay my rent, and perhaps pay my school fees. But in terms of development, I cannot see it. All right. And that is exactly what I'm going to tackle today. I'm going to share with you, as the topic suggests, money hates this group of people, these three groups of people. All right. And do you fall in that category? All what you need to do is sit back, relax, and watch this video to the end for you to understand exactly where have you been colliding with money. Because perhaps you guys have been colliding with money. That's why you usually have what we call the rubbing shoulders with it. All right. And I always post a video each and every day. So if you don't want to miss any of my good videos in the future, do this. Down below there on your right, there is a button written subscribe. It's a very small button. Hit that magical button, turn that notification bells on, like this video, and by only doing that, whole YouTube will notify you whenever I upload a new good video. So let's get into today's business. All right. Now let's go to the category number one of the people that money hates. And that category is people who are called hoarders with no purpose. To hold is to hold something in still. You just believe like, hey, let me just keep this thing just for the purpose of just keeping it. You do not have an outlined purpose. Have you ever met these kind of guys who, when they have money, some people call them stingy, they are mean, some of them are minimalist. But if you ask them, what is the purpose of you holding this money? There is an opportunity coming. Hey, how about you invest on this opportunity? You can do this, you can do the other. But these people, they just love to hold that money in terms of liquid. They keep it in a bank. They just don't want to get that money out because they're so skeptical about investing out there, because they feel like, hey, you know what? You see, and most of these guys, you find like there are people who are brought up in a very poor background. So these people who are brought up in a very poor background, they always have that fear deep inside of them. And they always believe, and they were told when they were young, that money does not grow on trees and all those kind of things. So whenever they get a coin, they kind of overdo some things we call, minimalist or frugal kind of a life. They keep that money in a bank, and they do not have the understanding that, hey, when you keep your money in a bank just lying idle, that money is being eaten away by the inflation. Number two, you can never grow wealth by just keeping your money in a bank. You need to put that money on the system where it generates more money, whereby you are assured about the generation of that money. And that's why I always give a very simple analogy that money loves to make babies. All right. So for them to make babies, you have to provide what we call a very nice nesting area, which we usually call it an investment. And take a very simple example. You watching this video, you are a son or a daughter of somebody. And that means that if that somebody never did something for you to be in existence, of course, you wouldn't be in existence. So the same case applies to money. You get that money and then you decide to eat all of it, and then you act surprisingly in future. Then you say like, hey, I do not know why I do not have money. So these people who are called hoarders with no purpose, there is no problem with you being a hoarder. There is no problem with you retaining that money. You get, let's say, 1,000 now, whatever the amount of money you get, either at the end of the day, a week, or a month. Once you get that money, of course, you assign all that money that goes towards paying your utilities. Now the remaining, you keep it towards you doing what we call, you hoard, yes, but with a purpose. What purpose? Obviously, when you keep money, should be on a purpose of what we call investing. All right. That's why we use the term saving. But I really hate using that term. I prefer using the term accumulation or storing. You store that money on the purpose of raising a certain amount of money, which we call capital. You take that capital, you plow it into the investment. Now that capital gives birth to other baby money, which we call the passive income. And that's how you assure the generational income as far as that money lineage is concerned. So number one, this is the parting shot on the point number one from these classes of people. There is no problem with you being a hoarder, but there is a big problem if you become a hoarder with no purpose. You just keep money, all right? And then you are out there seeking guidance and instructions on where you can be able to put your money. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough with you. So at all the time, be a hoarder, yes, but with the purpose of investing at the end of the day, all right? Now, that takes us to the point number 2. And the point number 2 is none other but these people who we call them the reservists and paranoid. Have you ever seen people who are so much reservist and paranoid? Have you ever gone back to maybe where you were born, maybe up country, people call it Ushago, and maybe you want to start a project, all right? And you tell them, hey, you know what, guys, I think we've been doing this thing for quite a long time. We have never seen any different result. And I think I have a new idea. I think we can do this. Just take a very simple example like farming. Say that land has been farmed for the last, I don't know, 40 or 50 years, and tell them, hey, you know what, I think we should do a different thing. And there they are, especially those old wazes from the Mshago, and they tell you, hey, you know what, guess what, your dad tried, he never succeeded, your mom has been trying, your uncle tried, I don't know, Flani and Flani tried, they never succeeded, and all those kind of things. So the point is this, you find those people are so much reserved, they just want to live in a comfort zone. And have you ever realized one thing? That when you interact or mingle with the people who are in the comfort zone, they never try as much as they can to come to where you are, but they want to pull you down. There's a time I was thinking of having a greenhouse back at the Ushago of farming, and I guess how many discouragement I got. People are telling me that can never work, that is no, I don't know the soil of this place, I don't know does what, a lot of excuses and that kind of a thing. So these people are called reservists. They reserve to their old ways of doing things. And if you cannot be able to break out of that shell or that cocoon of, you know, this kind of an old way of doing things, you're going to get yourself into problems. And by the way, you'll be shocked to realize this is the character that is actually holding some of the big chunk of African families and homes back in terms of the development. There's some of the things that we hold back that really, you know, brings us back into, you know, we cannot even develop and such kind of a thing. So you're supposed to be very keen and careful. Otherwise, you can get yourself into problems. Now, the same category of the people, we call them the paranoid. Have you ever approached an individual, you tell them, you know, they have money and you know they are capable of maybe partnering with you, maybe if you have a plan of partnering with them, and you tell them, hey, you know what, I just want to start a certain business somewhere, and I have thought that it can be of good idea if you can come on board because we can do this or the other. There they are, they tell you, hey, you know what, have you consulted? Who have you consulted? How is the business running? Is it successful? Have you ever run that business? How is it? And all those kind of things. You're so paranoid. And by the way, those paranoids, perhaps you'll see them on the comment section. They usually come on my channel, they tell me, hey, you tell us about businesses. What do you have? How many people have you advised? And what businesses are they standing for you? And all those kind of, I mean, you like, I don't know what kind of a thinking they usually have deep inside of them. And these are the people you're supposed to be very, very careful when you are seeking advice from them. And I always tell people, whenever you want to start at something, be it either, or rather mostly investment, it's not good to over-consult. Because if you over-consult in the process, you either meet somebody who is operating under jealousy, and it's very hard to differentiate a person who is operating under jealousy and somebody who is operating under paranoid. The paranoid person is the paranoid. Person is paranoid. Okay, so it is very good to be keen and careful and ask yourself, okay, these guys I'm asking. For example, say you want to start up a hardware somewhere, and then you go seek somebody who actually failed terribly on that business. All right. What do you think that individual will tell you? That person will tell you, I am telling you, if there is a business that is tricky, tough, and close to not being successful is a hardware. And there were, you have been having a dreams and all the visions and ambitions of starting that business. Probably you get out of the place with a change of mind or completely say, hey, you know what, let my money let my money stay in a bank. I won't risk my money or something of sort. What if you did approach somebody who is succeeding in that business? Probably they will tell you it's a good business, or if they operate under jealousy, they will tell you, hey, you know what, it is good, but it's tricky. I wouldn't suggest you start it because they feel like you're gonna come on board as a competitor or something of sort. So when you're seeking this kind of an information from people, try to sieve them and feel to understand who you're dealing with, so that at least you don't fall a victim of all these personalities that I'm going to discuss with you here. So reservists and paranoid people are quite popular in our midst, and there are people who actually, they are there. Sometimes you even tell them, hey, it's not about you and me coming on board and starting a business. It's about you telling me, should I get into that business? And then they tell you 90 reasons why you should not start that business. And from there, that's how dreams of the majority of people are killed. All right, now we go to the third one, but not the least. All right, book-wise but street dump. Have you ever met somebody who is a graduate? Is a graduate. The person is what should I say? So smart or whatever. I don't know how you can even classify that. You find this individual is actually a graduate. Probably he qualified or she qualified with a first-class honors. This guy has the papers, the relevant papers, and all that. But this guy has been tailored, has been tuned to be an employee. You know, there's one thing I will tell you. Maybe this one may be a bit controversial, but the point is this. You see, these people who are this system of education, all the way from kindergarten to tertiary education, that kind of a system is actually there to train you, to be a good employee. That's for a fact. And once you get at the end of the tunnel, your dream has been killed, your talent has been diminished, it's no longer working, you cannot even believe in it because it has been programmed deep inside of you. If you get good grades, you become a teacher, you become a doctor, an engineer, whatever you become, then that is the only way you can use or do for you to get money, all right? And these people, you find that they are out there, they are less creative in our society, they are so choosy in terms of the job that they can do. First of all, they are so choosy in terms of the status, where they live, whom they relate with, and how they dress, and all those kind of things, without them understanding and appreciating the fact that you are supposed to go out there, do that what you get before you get that what you want. That's what that's the reality of life. And again, have you ever again meet somebody who was got lucky a little bit? They got a job, they have money, they're employed somewhere, although they're not getting that amount of money. Here you are, you approach them and tell them, hey, you know what? I have a plan of starting a business. Let's say this individual is a teacher. I have a plan of starting a business. I am telling you, you find this person, yes, he was smart in school or she was smart, but this person, when it comes to money making procedures and processes, they have zero idea. They know nothing. You just find these guys are so much book wise, but they are street dump. And have you also met another category of people who they never even went to university? Some of them even dropped from high school. But these people, they are so good in businesses. You tell them, hey, guess what? I have seen an opportunity. We can import things from China. We can do this and this and this. They ask you, how much is it required? You tell them, hey, you know what? It requires a 1 million. But guess what? I had myself 600,000. And can you bring on board your 400 and we do? They tell you, yes. Have you done your research and all those kind of things? Yes, I've done it. Shika, you go do the thing. You find these people, they are so much. First of all, they believe unless they do this, of course, they have to do something for them to compete with their peers who are so smart in school. That's the reality. So the point is this, it's good to be very careful so that you don't get affected by all these kind of personalities. These personalities are quite popular and they're out there. And be very careful whenever you're dealing with them. And if you're one of those guys who fall under this category, those skills to get out of this whatever, it's actually learnable. Just like I've explained in that entire video, do something about it. All right. Anyway, guess what, guys? If you would like to get a touch of my booklets about investments, shares, money market fund, things to do with treasury bills, bonds, business side, all those kind of things, I have those copies right and ready for you. A copy it's only $280. Grab my number from the description of this specific video. You can give me a call or you can text me on WhatsApp and we can get started. For now, it's a goodbye. Don't forget to as well comment down below, tell me what you think, and let's meet on the next video. See ya.